嗨，大家好，欢迎收看《一打看世界》，一起看世界，我是老外。
大家好，我是拉瑙。近期许多南岛国家领袖和政要相继访台，凸显出南岛民族在外交场域所扮演的重要角色。
而就在今年的9月，马绍尔群岛共和国文化以及内政部长科欧塔也率团来到了台湾，落实台马两国在2019年签订的南岛民族文化事务合作协定，从祭典跟传统竞技拓展双边的文化交流。
而在他们访台期间，我们非常荣幸邀请到部长，还有独木舟协会的主席来跟我们分享他们的收获，以及对这项协定的未来规划。透过一打的特别专访，一起来听听两位的分享。Welcome to IDA See the World. This September, the delegation of the Republic of the Marshall Islands visits Taiwan, and today we are very honored to have our special guest, the director of the Canoe Association of Marshall Islands, Mr. Kellen. Please say hi to our audience first.
Yahweh, hi. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. And before we start the interview, can you show us your traditional chants?
Kubakanam Rebichan Libenam Paparan Lotanam Kolo Kopanam Walil Wajaro Li Belalua Jaram Chatal Jago Akupakanam Rebichat Limenam Paparan Lotanam Kolo Kopanam Walil Wajaro Li Belalua Jaram Chatal Jago. So, Kubaganam Rebichat is the balance, the harmony among the people as we work together. Kubaganam Rebichat. Limanam Babaran is the bailing of the water. See, in every communities or families, there is always challenges. But challenges is the good thing, because challenge is a great tool to learn, to be progress. Kobanam Walil, Kobanam Kalloy. It's a leader, it's a chief. We always have a leader. We always have a traditional chief that we work together to accomplish our goals, to accomplish the task that we need to do with our community. And working together, we accomplish things really fast. It's at the end of the chant, it says, Lotanam Kolo Kopanam Walil Wacharo Li Belalua Chadam Charam Chago, which means that our goal as we work together and follow the chief, it'll be accomplished as fast as the lightning in the sky.
Mm-hmm. So it means that the canoe culture is very important to the Marshall Islands culture, right?
Canoe, it is the most sustainable tool for our sustainable life.
Yes.
We use it to go fishing, go hunting, and go transport between the islands.
Mm-hmm. So you have a traditional tattoo on your body, and is that related to the canoe culture or the Marshall Island culture?
It is related to Marshall Island culture. It tells the story. It tells the task that we need to do in order to survive.
Mm-hmm. So can you introduce a little bit about your tattoo?
Yeah, sure. The one tattoo on this arm means that it shows the octopus. So the octopus have one head, which represent our task, and then they have a lot of hands or legs that represent the task that we need to do in our community. And then, of course, we have two belts that represent sunset and sunrise. But you see, no man is an island. Nothing will be done without the mat. The mat represents the community. So we all have to work together in order to accomplish our goals. Okay, so on this arm, you can see a different motifs. So these are the famous bullock, the famous bullock fish that is represent the resources in the ocean, and this is of course the water, and this means that you're bringing up the most challenges fish from the sea, or the resources from the sea, and underneath is these are the shark teeth that mean danger. When you bring up these resources, you are facing the danger of the ocean, the sharks and this bad spirit in the water. But then again, you see the mat. That means the whole community, or all the fishing families are with you in a challenging time to bring up the needed resource to the community.
So you have a tattoo on your chest, right?
Yeah, the one on my chest, it represents the culture keeper. I am a culture keeper. I train, I make sure that our cultures stay alive by using it and by promoting and by train the young people. And if you can see, it's the whole motif of all the skills on the islands. And if you look on the top, you see all the boxes. These are the bonefish. That means it represents the bad spirit of anybody that want to hurt me. They'll have to fight through the boxes here. And I also have in the back a stick chart, the compass, and the arrow that protect me from any bad spirit that would be affecting me while I'm doing my work. So no matter what you do, there's always a warrior within you. In order to accomplish anything, you have to have that warrior spirit within you.
So as you're director of the Canoe Association, and you're also a great canoe builder, so you have been to many countries, right?
Yes.
How many countries you have been?
Countless. I've been a few countries in Europe, and of course I've been Europe before, and all over the Pacific. I've been also all over China, and it's a lot of places that our canoeing culture have taken me.
So you have been to Taiwan for many times. Yeah? So have you found any similarities in this culture?
It is, yeah. We are obviously we're island people, so we are ocean people. So there's so many similarities among our two cultures. We actually, we started here.
Started, yeah.
Yes, this is where the roots of the Marshall Islands, the Austronesian, started in Taiwan, and that's how. So we are actually a branch out of Taiwan.
So, Mr. Callan, in the Austronesian culture, we all have the canoe culture. So, what do you think the importance of the canoe culture?
Well, there's two things. The canoes actually, it's our identity. It shows our environment. It shows our surrounding. It shows the skills of our ancestors and how we survive on these islands. So the canoe is a very important skill, and it's different countries have some different modification on their canoes, but it's actually the same. We are the ocean people. But the other thing is that our islands were colonized by foreigners. For example, in the Marshalls, the Japanese came for the war. World War II, and a lot of the small islands in the Marshalls, the Japanese says don't build canoes because they were afraid that they would go to the Americans. So the navigational skills and all that stuff, a lot of them died because of that colonizations. But if we look at what we are seeing today with climate change, for example, we are using this tradition that will keep the fossil fuel underground. That means it will make the islands stay afloat. And at the same time, it will make sure that the tradition does not die. So it's good for our indigenous people, and it's good for our country, for our sustainable livelihood and our heritage, and also good for the islands as a preservation of climate change.
So is female is able to build a canoe or sell the canoe?
As a matter of fact, the legend has it in our country that we're navigators, and female brought navigation skills to our country. And were also voyagers because of the sail on the canoe. That was female also brought that. So we had two spirits, all these female spirits that brought in the skills. So female always involved in canoe building, navigation, and everything else.
It means that female and male are equal in
Well,
your society?
In our society, the women own the land.
On the land?
Yeah, and we claim them for that.
Okay, so as you mentioned about the issue of the climate change, how do you have any plan to tackling on this issue?
Well, from the traditional, from the culture side, the best thing to do is to keep the culture practiced. Use the canoes. So we have less and less boats or water vehicles that use fossil fuel, which means that it will help the island stay afloat from climate change. Because now climate change is coming in more and more. The same water that give you the blessing now is scaring you. But by using these skills that have been here for thousands of years and we've been using for survival, I think is the best solution. Here in Taiwan, you know, there are more and more storms and that kind of stuff, and it all because of us, because of man using technologies and resources that actually came in climate change.
So what makes the Marshall Islands canoe so special?
Well,
so
it's
unique.
Yes, I always tell people that Marshall Island canoes is the most unique canoes in the world. And of course, because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
But see, the hull of the canoe, one good example, the hull of the canoe is called asymmetrical shape, which means one side is flat and one side is kind of round. It's the same shape on the airplane wing. And on the airplane wing, without that shape, the airplane wouldn't fly. And we actually used that design 2,000 years before the inventor, the Wright brothers invented airplane. And of course, you know, the hull and the outrigger, they are separated in movement because of certain lashing on the canoe. That's today we call it shock absorber. And there are many more most advanced technology that we use on these 2,000-year-old technology.
See, we have shared the same marine culture, right? So in every May, every year, Marshall Island have a biggest festival called like Constitution Day.
Yes.
So could you please introduce this day for us?
Well, this is the day where the whole country get together. Families and groups from all the different atolls within the Marshall Islands come to the center, the Majuro, and we celebrate the Constitution Day. This is where we do traditional canoe races, we do fishing tournaments, and all the activities that represent the country, represent our indigenous people and our heritage.
Yes. So is that similar with the Bunong festival, like you have attended this week?
Yes, it is. It is. I think that's what really was unique. That's where you really see the very similarities, because you saw on one side all the traditional skills being put into games, and on the other side you saw the volleyball games, and because you need to make sure that the tradition, the culture is alive, and at the same time you need to bring the enthusiasm of the youth so they can all merge and really create that interest.
I think it's bring good memories to you, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so can you teach us your language, like hello or thank you?
Well, you know, I always show off with that.
Yeah.
So we actually don't have any words for good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We just have the word yakwe.
Yakwe.
It's I-A-K-W. So I-A is rainbow. K-W-E is you. So every day you see people in the morning and say, you're beautiful like a rainbow. I love you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, morning, lunch, or midday or evening.
Yes, and how to say thank you in Marshallese?
Komol.
Komol.
Oh, Komol Tada is thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with us today about the Marshall Island culture and Komol Tata.
谢谢。
And later we will have the interview with the Minister of Culture and Internal Affairs of the Republic of Marshall Islands. But before that, we will have a video to show the background of the agreements between Taiwan and Marshall Islands.
《献唱传统歌谣，互赠手工礼品，展现两国对南岛民族文化交流的期盼与祝福。9月7号，马绍尔群岛共和国文化及内政部部长科欧塔率团拜会原民会，落实双方在2019年签署的南岛民族文化事务合作协定。
在2019年的1月3号，原民会跟贵国的文化及内政部，在原民会这个地方呢，签署了南岛民族文化事务合作协定。协定的内容呢，包括语言文化、传统知识跟技艺，还有经济、体育以及气候变迁等领域的这个交流合作。
这次代表团除了前往花莲、台东、屏东的原住民部落，也参加9月中旬的全国布农族射耳祭暨传统技能竞赛。透过实际和族人互动，分享双边的祭典文化。科欧塔部长也向原民会发出邀请，在明年5月1号参加该国最盛大的宪法纪念日。
Government-to-government relations are important, but I believe that it is our people-to-people relations and our shared Austronesian heritage that truly bonds us together. Since the signing of our agreement for cooperation on Australian government people's cultural affairs, this pact has boosted our collaboration and deepened bilateral exchanges in various areas.
今年3月，马国总统科布亚曾率团来台，重申与台湾建交24年的深厚邦谊，也希望这次的双边协定能持续为两国关系加温。近期，尽管面临地缘政治挑战，土瓦鲁和帛琉等太平洋岛国领袖仍相继访台，凸显出南岛民族在外交场域所扮演的重要角色。记者拉瑙、阿拉斯、许家荣、林柏宏整理报道。
Welcome back to Ida See the World. As I mentioned that this September, the delegation of Republic of Marshall Islands visits Taiwan. This is based on the agreements that they have signed with the Council of Indigenous Peoples on January 3rd. 2019. So today we are also very honored to have our special guest, the Minister of Cultural and Internal Affairs of Republic of Marshall Islands, Minister Ota Jacob Kisino. Yakwe, Minister.
Yakwe.
So first, could you say hi to our audience first?
Yakwe,
Thank you. As I mentioned, we really want to know more about the agreements that you have signed with the Council of Indigenous Peoples. Could you share with us the origin and what is your future plan since you took office this year?
Como dada, agreement na chain lo ranyom yene way kalikar. Human agreement in kalikar and ministry iper na rey matar kubatok ngan lale tago cemerong ipendron share alapta gichen manidum kan manidrina.
Okay, so you mentioned about the agreements, but actually this year we also have a Austronesian Forum, right? So do you have any, like, in your opinion, what do you think about this forum, and what roles does Marshall Islands play in this forum to really strengthen the relationship among the members?
Austronesian Forum is one unique. Marshall Island and joint member in forum. Elang mengo cek kanu kage alapta gichen manit kajin ami mono. Ameno ijiloge alabar specific net kanu kage human forum gichen climate change. Issue me all of lalgainan reach phase rain.
So during your visit in Taiwan, when participating all these indigenous like ceremonies or traditional sports competitions, what impressed you the most?
Akumol, ilo agar lolok intelligence nari daw yan majal lolok all even checking army rain indigenous army rain. Chakalo air agar palak kon mani daw air kan wawin air nur tijigan air nur raining. Minimal agar agar lupun impress gaga ilo air kacung rabijot mani din air. Jadi malalai cuan wawin me kacung rabi me japin aja tanah ke ilo air kacung leleng tak itu ini zaman.
So have you found any similarities in Marshall Islands culture?
Oh air, kalau lang menunggu ilu ni tak dengan mani doan remaja. Jangan lolo agar lolo kacung tahun ini. Village again. Emelang wawin ko nampak juan ilo kajininar. Lo cetian nan ilo kajinin majal. Ecolo yurian kajinan cetian indigenous tribe.
So what are your like prospects for the future relationship between Taiwan and Marshall Islands, since our President Tsai Ing-wen shows her supports for the Austronesian affairs?
Chala ko na kajan President Majal and His is David Kagwa. Elaban bar chuda living culture. Me chunyan area ko lokirinan Majal iloan bim leling tak. Iloan bim pello forum ni chun meno me ini kacung rabbit mani dinar. Iloan change pen lalgin narin member in forum. Eligina agar puk puji ni chidu emenal ni nodalak. Your plan one kini. Dengan kakan-kakan lakonin kanan majal ke Taiwan alapta gichen culture. Ini cuman area yang me cijilowe majal in Taiwan with similar lo air dan share alapta kan culture. Future plan yo dengan air kakajo lok cemjara inar ipen army in Taiwan kan wawin gain alapta gichen mani dinar.
Okay, Kumutata, I believe that Austronesian culture is always be the crucial foundation between Taiwan and Marshall Islands. So we're looking forward to more interaction among two countries. And thank you so much for sharing with us today, Kumutata.
Kumutata.
那我们先稍作休息一下，稍后回到节目现场。
欢迎回到节目的现场。在这个阶段，我们将关注巴西这个国家10月的选举，因为选战中是创下了有史以来角逐国会议员原住民族候选人最多的一次。好的，巴西总统博索纳罗在2019年上任以来，是多次发表对原住民族文化不尊重的言论，更肆意开放了部落传统领域，大幅破坏了亚马逊雨林的生态环境。也因此，今年10月的巴西总统与国会大选，这些多达60位的原住民国会议员参选人，是力拼捍卫部落权益，更要逆转过去几年原住民族人权倒退的局势。 巴西圣保罗街头，候选人扫街拜票。巴西将在今年10月举行总统与国会议员大选。根据选务机构统计，这一次大选总共有60位原住民国会议员候选人，创下历史纪录。候选人表示，现任总统博索纳罗执政将近4年来，原住民族权益大为倒退，包括人身安全与土地权等等都遭到侵害，必须选出代表原住民族声音的议员，才有可能扭转这个局势。
E nós entendemos que esse ano é crucial para a gente eleger nossos representantes, porque tentar combater, né, esse aumento da violência, dos assassinatos, esse aumento do desmatamento. Estamos vivendo o maior desmatamento dos últimos 15 anos, né? Esses ataques, essas retiradas de direitos que estão acontecendo. Para nós só é possível reverter isso se tiver representantes indígenas ocupando os espaços de poder e decisão.
Depois combatemos a inflação.
博索纳罗上任以来，无视巴西宪法对于原住民族传统领域的保障，大举开放采矿业与大规模农业进入原住民族领域，不但造成珍贵的亚马逊雨林遭到严重滥垦，更危害当地原住民族人的生活。因此，亚马逊地区的原住民国会议员候选人就以挡下这些开发案为主要政见诉求。
Eu sou uma candidata indígena do estado do Amazonas. Nós temos grandes responsabilidades se eleita for, né? Mas uma das grandes demandas nossa é que, chegando no Congresso Nacional, a gente possa frear todas essas PLs que avançam, que hoje não visam mais demarcar territórios indígenas, que abrem nossos territórios, PLs que abrem os nossos territórios para a mineração, para o agronegócio. A gente visa combater isso de frente mesmo, né?
这一次总统选举中，主要反对党候选人 Lula 也已经表示，如果当选，将会编列更多经费阻止森林滥伐，也表示会成立新的政府部会，保障原住民权益。这一次选举不但有史上最多国会原住民候选人，2位主要总统候选人对于原住民族政策也有截然不同的诉求。对于巴西100万名原住民族的权益来说，会是未来几年发展趋势的关键。记者陈忠宽、花家新编译。而先前伊朗一名22岁的女性因头巾没有戴好被警方拘留之后莫名死亡，警方处理的态度是引爆了民怨，街头抗争持续将近这半个月，规模更逐渐的扩大。而邻近国家的伊拉克库德族人也为死者发声抗议，但是却被伊朗的革命卫队用导弹攻击，导致9个人丧生。
库德族人手举标语，替不幸早逝的阿曼尼发声。年仅22岁的伊朗库德族人阿曼尼疑似遭到警方施暴身亡。这起事件在伊朗引爆抗议浪潮，甚至不排除有可能导致政变发生。根据警方的监视器影片，阿曼尼被女性的道德警察指出头巾没有戴好，因此遭到拘留。没想到3天后，她陷入昏迷，紧急送医，不治身亡。然而有迹象显示，死者头部受到剧烈撞击，外界怀疑阿曼尼是被警方殴打致死。警方否认施暴，辩称是阿曼尼心脏病发。民众为了得到真相上街抗议，却被强制镇压。
الموضوع مو بس موضوع الأكراد والدين، الموضوع موضوع إنساني. يعني هسه كل إيران يتظاهرون، الترك والعرب والفرس كلهم يتظاهرون أمام القوات الإيرانية القمعية، لأن الحكومة الإيرانية يقمع كل القوميات وكل الأديان. يعني مو مسألة الحجاب والمسألة الدين، وكلنا نعرف الدين عقيدة، والعقيدة مو بالقوة، العقيدة مو بالقوة ترفضها على الناس.
أمامي كرد السري باقتا بزور ريش موسيقى بوجن كردو
只因为头发从头巾露出来就送命，引起全球哗然。世界各地的抗争者用剪发来响应这起不幸事件。其实，从1979年的伊斯兰革命以来，伊朗女性的服装仪容一直被严格规范。街头的道德警察在检举违规者时，经常执法过当、滥用暴力，女性的活动自由处处受限。因此，剪头发、烧头巾不但是反抗针对女性的压迫，也是追求女权的实际行动。
I cutting my hair because many of my sister in Iran they gonna die maybe tomorrow because of hijab, and I don't want it, and I hate it, and I don't want to follow this terrorist and dictator regime, and I'm here to support my people because they don't have voice, they don't have journalists to speak up about them.
除了中东国家以外，这起抗争在欧洲、美加也产生回响。加拿大外交部长表示，总理 Trudeau 甚至承诺要制裁涉及此案的人士。至于伊朗国内的抗争情况是否会越演越烈，将会为您持续追踪。记者吴品如、花嘉欣编译。
而随着英国女皇伊丽莎白2世的过世，也让澳洲跟纽西兰这2个国家的原住民族神纷纷表示，应该要废除皇室，选出自己的元首，象征与过去的殖民体制彻底的断绝关系。
英国女王伊丽莎白2世9月8日去世，同样以英国女王为国家元首的澳洲，不久就宣布9月22日是全国哀悼日。但是这样的做法让许多澳洲原住民族人感到十分不是滋味。在哀悼日当天，雪梨和墨尔本等大城市都有民众走上街头，要求废除王室，保护原住民族权益。有部落领袖指出，澳洲原住民族数十年来不断希望政府能够为死在白人压迫下的族人正式宣布哀悼之日，始终没有成功。现在却为代表殖民者的女王宣布哀悼之日。
More sad for them. While they're mourning their queen, we're mourning our people. We're mourning our old people. We've had enough, and it is an insult to declare at the click of a finger a day of mourning on the 22nd of September. We've been calling for a day of mourning since 1938, and while they mourn their queen, we will mourn our people.
英国的海外殖民地在20世纪纷纷独立，但是到了今天，除了英国之外，仍有包括澳洲与纽西兰等14个国家以英国王室作为国家元首。至今，澳洲国会议员在宣誓就职时，仍然需要向英国女王表示效忠，让许多人感到难以接受。今年当选的一位原住民国会议员，就在宣誓时刻意点名女王是殖民者，引发不少讨论。
I, Sovereign Lydia Thorpe, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will be faithful and I bear true allegiance to the colonising Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Senator Thorpe.
而在一海之隔的纽西兰，也有许多毛利族人呼吁废除王室。虽然毛利族人在争取文化平权方面目前有不错的成绩，但经济状况仍然普遍比白人差。族人领袖表示，纽西兰应该切断与殖民者的连结，拥抱自己身为太平洋国家的身份。
It is about being really mature and secure that we are not a nation in Europe. We are a nation in the Pacific. We had practices and we had good laws of our own. And it's about time to reclaim those. And now would be as good a time as any.
澳洲与纽西兰的原住民族人发声，希望可以废除英国王室，拥有自己的国家元首。事实上，两国的现任总理也都曾经表示，废除王室成为共和国是未来不可避免的趋势。 但是要对国家体制进行如此巨大的变革，需要凝聚非常强烈的社会共识，仍然有待各方的努力。记者陈忠宽、华嘉欣编译。
为了弥补过去非法掠夺文物的不正义行为，奥地利的维也纳自然史博物馆返还了纽西兰64具毛利族和毛利欧里族的祖先遗骸。
欢迎回到伊达的节目现场。在美国原住民族的历史当中，最残酷且大规模的迫迁计划，就是19世纪的血泪之路。5大部落被强制迁移，将近12万名族人徒步将近2000公里，从美国的东南方走到现在的奥克拉荷马州等地。
而现在幸存的 Muscogee 族的后代回到了故乡，用设置国家公园的方式，要来保存祖先当初在这块土地上的生活遗迹跟历史。
在仪式的歌声中，美国的 Muscogee 族人排成一圈，在乔治亚州参加第30届的族人庆祝大会。虽然是以宾客的身份到来，然而这里在将近200年前就已经是 Muscogee 族人的故乡。在西元1836年左右，超过14000名 Muscogee 族人被美国政府强制迁移到密西西比河西岸的印第安领地。经过3个月的徒步迁徙，最后在奥克拉荷马州顺利定居下来的族人只剩下原来的2/3。
There was a dehumanization about removal of those who were here. It was easier to live with yourself if we were savages and we were heathens and we were these awful people that needed to be removed and off this land.
幸存的族人持续壮大社群，他们回到故乡，和其他族人以 Okmulgee 河流历史公园为中心，推动设置国家公园的计划，进一步保存家园以及文史遗迹。
My personal goal for anyone coming back is so that they have a place that they can feel back, they can come back, and they can feel like they connect back with this land. Right? We are no longer the stewards of this land. We honor and care about what happens to this land. We're thankful that this land is still here, and the national park. But for the national park, this may have been a development.
在 Okmulgee 的河流沿岸，已经发现了将近900处文化遗址。未来若设置国家公园，更可以保护河水所流经的泛滥平原不被开发，同时保护环境和遗址。
We always ask before, such a beautiful place, why did you leave? We weren't asked to leave, we was forced to leave. But to have that partnership with the Okmulgee people here at the mountain, the park, we are always welcome. And they do consider this our home.
经过3年的筹备，国家公园的前置审查作业完成，将由内政部长 Deb Haaland 提交国会表决通过，而族人也会加入未来的公园营运管理，继续为家园效力。记者吴品如、华嘉欣编译。
而无法改变过去，但可以借由柔软的心展现满满的诚意。今年的7月，英国自然史博物馆还给了纽西兰111具查塔姆岛原住民 Okmulgee 族的祖先遗骸。而在9月27号的时候，奥地利的维也纳自然史博物馆也跟上脚步。
在历经将近80年的协商之后，馆方终于将大约64具的毛利族和 Moriori 族的祖先遗骸还给后代子孙，弥补过去非法掠夺文物和遗骸的不正义行为。
传统吟唱回荡在奥地利维也纳自然史博物馆，揭开返还仪式的序幕。历经长达77年的协商，大约64具纽西兰毛利族和查塔姆岛 Moriori 族的祖先遗骸，终于在9月27号回到后代子孙手中。
There will be tears of hurt and grief, but there will be tears of joy and happiness. To you all, we humbly thank you for what you have done today to allow our ancestors to return home.
这些遗骨是在19世纪纳为馆藏，并且公开展示，其中大多是由奥地利恶名昭彰的盗墓者 Andreas Reischig 收集而来，反映出当时殖民国家普遍非法掠夺文物和遗骸的不当行为。
We deeply regret there is disrespectful and unjustified treatment of your ancestors. We cannot undo the past. What we can do, however, is to learn and change the present to enable us to join a common future.
这项由纽西兰政府资助的跨国返还计划，从2003年至今，已取回将近800具毛利族和 Moriori 族的祖先遗骸，其中包括美国史密森尼学会、英国自然史博物馆等合作对象，都已落实返还行动。未来 Te Papa 博物馆也将对骨骸进行调查，并讨论出祖灵最后的安息地。记者拉瑙，花家新编译。1973年 ，Sachin Littlefeather 在奥斯卡颁奖典礼上，代表影星马龙·白兰度上台致辞，并拒绝领奖，抨击主流社会长期忽视原住民族的存在。
而49年后，奥斯卡官方终于在今年的6月发出道歉声明，也在9月中旬举办了和解之夜，向他致敬。还给 Littlefeather 应有的正义跟尊重。
9月中旬，美国影艺学院举办和解之夜，特别向原住民演员及倡议者 Sachin Littlefeather 致敬。因为49年前奥斯卡颁奖典礼上的巨灵风波，让他遭受不公平待遇，也赔上了职业生涯。活动当天，主办单位宣读今年6月时任主席 David Rubin 的道歉声明，希望还给 Littlefeather 应有的正义与尊重。
In response to that apology, I want to say in 1973, I was a 26-year-old Indigenous woman, a member of the Screen Actors Guild. Very few people of color were finding their way through an impractical society that deliberately set out to erase the existence and diversity of Native peoples. Through genocide, oppression, and the unwavering efforts for Indian self-determination, our generation remained hard at work.
Littlefeather 在过去近50年遭到抵制、攻击、骚扰和歧视，尽管现在75岁了，回忆当年奥斯卡颁奖典礼的画面，现场的暴力威胁和嘲讽仍历历在目。
But there was some commotion behind the stage, and I didn't find out what that was all about. But it was Big John Wayne getting ready to assault me. And he had to be held back by 6 security men to prevent him from doing so. Now that was the most violent act that ever took place at the Academy Awards. When I left that stage, I heard some comments from the people back there. And it was, ooh, and the tomahawk chop. And I just kept walking. I didn't represent myself.
Little Feather 表示，接受这份道歉不仅是为了自己，也是为所有的原住民族人。对于历史的不正义，美国影艺学院承诺会进行检讨，并省思影视圈的性别歧视、种族主义和有罪不罚的文化。希望不只是形式上的和解，更要透过持续对话消弭歧视。记者拉瑙、花嘉欣编译。
至于国际上还有哪些重要的新闻事件，带您一起来全球扫描。
接近5级强度的飓风伊恩在9月底横扫美国佛罗里达州，最高风速达到240公里，海边掀起巨浪，海水倒灌，全州大约200万户停电。目前尚未传出重大伤亡。佛州政府在1周前开始疏散当地将近250万人前往避难地点。飓风在登陆佛州之前，已经先肆虐古巴，造成1000多万户停电。由于气候变迁的缘故，近期飓风的威力会更加惊人，移动速度更慢，集中的强降雨也会酿成更严重的灾情。俄国在占领区发动入俄公投，结果已在当地的9月27日宣布，支持加入俄国的一方获得压倒性胜利。尽管当地居民表示是被强迫投票，但俄方依然决定将卢甘斯克、扎波罗热、顿内茨克、赫松共4州纳入版图。为了反制俄国吞并乌克兰将近1/5国土，美国和欧盟都将发动新一波制裁，包括禁止进口俄国产品、禁止输出军用科技以及产品到俄国等手段。从俄国通往欧洲的天然气管线北溪1号、2号破裂，导致气体外泄，受损区域位于丹麦以及瑞典水域。两国政府已经发出警告，外泄地点半径5海里为禁航区，船只必须绕道而行。管线为何受损，原因尚待厘清，至于何时才能修复，不得而知。不过损害程度已无法让俄国的天然气在冬天运往欧洲。在外泄事件发生时，地质学家侦测到水中传来强烈的爆炸，因此管线极有可能是遭到蓄意破坏。俄国当局否认发动类似攻击事件，还呼吁要展开客观的调查。14外太平洋岛国领袖应邀前往美国华府参加峰会。这次会议中，美方首先宣布加码提供超过8.1亿美元的额外补助，部分用于气候变迁与经济复苏。接着发表美国与太平洋岛屿战略，并且承认库克群岛以及纽埃为主权国家。这是美国首都邀请多位太平洋岛国领袖共同前往华府。据信，这是美国为强化与该地区的关系而展现的友好行为。记者吴品如、花嘉欣编译。
抓在9月的最后一天，也就是9月30号，西非国家象牙海岸是庆祝第8届的可可日，也为年度的可可比赛揭开序幕。不过，身为世界上最大的可可生产国，农民普遍低收入、奴隶、童工结构性的问题，到现在依旧没有获得全面性的改善。
而国际上除了推动可可的公平贸易来确保农民的收入之外，也必须从消费端给予生产端压力，才有可能为产业带来改变。
节目的最后，伊达的镜头就要带大家来到象牙海岸，看看现场的可可摊贩和舞蹈展演。同时感谢您今天的收看，祝你一切平安，再会。